要开始喽，赶快回座位坐好。
放下你的手机平板，准备看我秀。
所有明天不想上班的同事，大家晚安，大家好。欢迎大家在今天2月19号礼拜天的晚上，一起来到和平篮球馆，再次回到我们勇士的主场。那么从今天、还有后天以及2月24号这3天，我们为各位准备了3天不同主题，但都命名为上班族狂想曲。所以也希望大家每一位同事都将你想抒发的能量一起借给勇士，一起来拿下我们比赛的目标。那么在今天，相信大家从赛前都有参加我们许多舒压的上班族的小游戏之外，我们要跟大家分享一个好消息，在2楼的商店也有全新的联名系列，可以依照你的需求，将你喜欢的球员的插画，看你是要印在我们的 T 恤，或者是大学 T， 或者是帽 T， 都希望大家可以到我们的2楼商店来选购一下，穿上好看你喜欢的衣服，一起为勇士来加油。再来要提醒各位的是，今天你打卡了没？这个打卡跟你一般上班不一样，平常上班不能迟到，但是今天你只要有到场，还有21号也到，以及24号也到的话，3天都打卡，我们就有福利让你抽好礼。所以记得3天都要来跟我们一起上班，为勇士加油哦。那么说到上班，让我想到的就是大家最喜欢的女同事。今天赛前我们也要欢迎我们的女同事为各位带来精彩的演出，马上一起掌声欢迎富邦 Angel。再次掌声送给最美女同事富邦 Angel。
现在为各位介绍双方球员登录名单。首先介绍客队桃园璞园领航员球员名单：球衣背号00号陈玉瑞，球衣背号6号关达佑，背号15号陈冠全，背号21号陈立焕，背号25号林正。背号27号张振尧，背号30号白耀成，背号42号 No. 42沃许本。接下来为您介绍先发5人名单：球衣背号1号丁恩迪，球衣背号4号 No. 4艾尔斯，球衣背号22号黄宏汉，球衣背号28号施晋尧，球衣背号69号卢俊祥。桃园璞园领航员总教练 Head Coach 卡米洛斯。助理教练迪亚哥，助理教练兼球员发展总监杨怡峰，助理教练黄启峰，数据分析师柯焕伟，技术教练唐伟杰，体能教练刘连杰，防护师彭丽珍，防护员吴云凯，总经理陈信安， 球员朋友们，这个赛季只有我们能朝3连霸迈进，只有我们所以强大，都是经过无数的努力来达成。全队团结一心及球迷们的缺一不可，才能成为独一无二 One of One 的冠军队伍。而今年也将再次打造热血沸腾的勇士王朝。
经过那么多低潮，到底还撑什么？场上有人罩，需要这么努力吗？在台湾发展，真的有前途吗？黄金时代差不多了，有谁还在燃烧生命？
只有我们。
你问我撑什么？大巨称霸。
3代联手才是最强阵。
You see these rings? That's why I'm here.
只要有我们，没有不可能。
One of One， 只有我们。台北富邦勇士的球迷们准备好了吗？现在介绍地主队台北富邦勇士球员登录名单，让我听见你们的尖叫声。首先欢迎勇士吉祥物比尔。背号0号后卫3线1颗蓝洋小跑车赖廷二，背号1号前锋能里能外蓄势待发，选秀榜眼陈范国业，背号8号前锋勇士队鲑鱼 8 周鲑鱼。背号13号大前锋我梦林梦雪，背号14号小前锋奇妙老爹本土洋将队长蔡文成，背号15号本土中锋禁区魔兽Jimmy谢宗龙，背号23号大前锋Number 23勇士队Jordan马斯伯恩，背号24号后卫敢拼敢打 PJ 简廷照。And now starting five 富邦勇士先发5人名单，球衣背号21号中锋Number 21酷帅高冷曾祥军。背号11号后卫，锋芒内敛 KJ 洪海杰。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. What's a little work relief? After 2 straight nights in Taichung, the P.LEAGUE English broadcast has scurried up to Heping, where the Taipei Fubon Braves host the Pauian Pilots. But during the pregame in the concourse, the Braves having all kinds of activities to bring in the fans on a short weekend, trying to relieve from some of those work stresses. enjoy some basketball and getting right back to work on the other side. There's the matchup card with the Pilots on the left and the Braves, the home team. We have some special guests we'll have to introduce in-house. As now we bring you the standings. Earlier, the Kings defeated the Lioneers and now sit one game above the Pilots, of course, with this upcoming game. Before we know the results of the day, the Braves, in their quest for a three-peat, currently sit at third in the league, and a little bit of a gap to get to the Lioneers, Dreamers, and Steelers, of course, all with a chance still to make it into the 14 playoffs. On the Mandarin broadcast is Aaron 杨振雷 and Mark 田宏奎。球迷朋友们，你找到了 Plus 的英文转播喽，要看振磊跟奎哥的讲评，当然就按到官方的中文连接。但是走之前，还是你要留下来的话，当然谢谢你在直播上按赞。All right, I've taken a little bit longer time, but it's my pleasure to introduce to you the 2021 Plus League Amateur Draft. Fourth round, second selection of the round, and at the time, a Kaohsiung Steeler, now then Kaohsiung 17 Live Steeler. Now with me on the booth, Matthew Yang.
Hey everyone, excited to be here. Looking forward to calling this game with you, Ryan.
I'm sure excited to have you on. It's something we might have talked about, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of the way as we have another matchup between these two teams, and what we predict is a low-scoring affair, although not so much because the coaches don't like each other on screen, but traditional basketball legacies between the Pauian organization and the Pauian guys who left in the Braves. Matthew, you kind of were talking to me pregame about how the tempo might work differently from beginning of the game till end of the game. Well, we talked to a possible MVP candidate in Wu Jingxiang, number 69 for the Pilots, this year thrust into a starting role after being the sixth man of the year, and in fact leading locals in scoring this season. But he's a key point where the opposing defenses are going to be keying in on. And of course, the Pilots, having missed the playoff last year and were eliminated in the first round of year one, we asked them about their goals.
对战富邦的时候，他们的防守让我感觉到压迫感，所以在出手选择上变得很勉强，然后有些机会都没有把握住。那在未来的每一场比赛，都是新的开始，所以信心跟心态都要做好准备。这几场的乱流都会帮助我们越来越好。那下半季呢，我相信我们还是会以进季后赛目标迈进。那我个人其实个人的表现，其实我没有想那么多，就是我只是想要帮助球队赢球。
That's Justin Lu Zhixiang. There on screen, the Pilots' three-point shooting. They're on the third row, down to 27 from previously 34%. And of course, their winning percentage sitting only 500 in the second half of the season so far. Lu Zhixiang sharing that the Braves and opposing teams put a lot of pressure on him, and he's been forcing off a lot of shots. So the second half is a fresh start and time for a chance to start anew. But the second question he answers is they're not even in the playoffs, so securing that spot is their priority. And the old line, not think about his own numbers and just trying to help the team achieve their goals under first year in the Plus League head coach, Yuri Caminos. On the other side of it's Jet interviewed pregame. He's been the starter for the Braves. All 17 games he's played, he's been the starter, whether at the 1 or 2, as opposed to some other backcourt teammates, maybe I like Taoyuan, who's got 7 starts, or Josh Zhou 4 starts in the game. So it's a lot on Jet's plate, especially without Joseph Lin on the roster.
对我来说是蛮习惯，因为之前前2届的时候就已经做过，就是有时候去分担控球的角色，然后有时候打回那种得分后卫的角色，其实对我来说还蛮自在的，然后也蛮享受这种挑战。我觉得双塔的时候，其实对我们来说就是禁区优势比较大，然后篮板，然后还有他们在巩固就是篮下的那种防守，对我们来说就是前锋的压力会比较小一点。那麦克的话，他的打法其实。很多时候也可以去扛到他们的4号，然后他的外线跟他就是得分的那种爆发力，也是我们球队是蛮需要的，对啊，我觉得他们就是虽然说2个阵容就是有一点不太一样，但是 主要还是要看就是对战的组合，然后去做一些搭配吧。
The first season MVP of the Plus League, Zhang Dongxian, sharing that playing point guard is a challenge, but it's something that he embraced. And with two big imports in there, of course, rebounding is big, but that frees up space for the wings and guards. But Michael Singletary, of course, two-time finals MVP, can play power forward and score a lot, which will help anyone. Beast leads the JIT will be getting the night off, as the last graphic indicating his time and Jet's time seem a little bit of a reduction. Of course, you got to consider it's a much longer season now, going from 24 games to 30 games to now the jump up to 40 games. And don't forget, the Braves also have their ESL Championships Week competition. Let's see how they manage that. But Matt, before the game, what do you want to address first? Justin's meteoric rise, or are we talking about Jet and how he'll navigate playing in a role as a veteran on the team?
I mean, both players are key players for both sides. I feel like Justin, you know, a lot of people talk about players in their second year might have somewhat of a sophomore slump, but he's actually coming up in the running for MVP. So today we look for Justin to really shoot the ball and see how he kind of controls the tempo, because sometimes you see him bring the ball up as well. And let's also look at Jet, who's been playing kind of both the 1 and the 2. He plays definitely better off the ball, but let's see how he brings the ball up and runs point and tries to dictate the game.
Previously on screen, the audience here in the Plus League might recognize Jang Dong, a alumni and big supporter of Tensei University's program, taking a photo with B.LEAGUE's Kinji Shimada, the chairman of the Japanese B.LEAGUE. Zhang Liyue will be the crew chief of tonight's officiating staff. As now we bring you the starting 5 for the pilots first. From left to right, it's Andy, Mustafa Dieng. Next to Jeffrey Ayers, Alhan, Ayao, and Justin. And for the Braves, it's Zhen Xiangjun playing power forward alongside of Zaitsev, Michael Singletary, Jet, and KJ Hongkai-Jie. Well, we've already mentioned the similarities in terms of their staffing habits, but also from a style of play, that's something that you noted actually might be mirror images of each other from beginning to end of the game.
Right. Both teams really like to push the pace. Of course, both teams also play really well defensively. They rotate and they really protect the paint very well. So it'll be interesting to see how the refereeing goes and how they let them play. They might let them play a little more free tonight. And if that's the case, we might see coaches trying different things, especially with Beast out. There's going to be younger players who will get their opportunities. And so we'll see them. And I think three-point shooting will be important as well. We'll see how they do and see how this game starts.
A lot of players on the Pilots offensive side, but it's going to be a tip violation. Pilots in their white jerseys, Braves in their dark set. That Taipei City version. So for the fans, thank you for joining our broadcast. If you didn't know, yesterday, Saturday, was a work makeup day and school day, of course. Braves their first game of this homestand starting on a Sunday night. Zaitsev stuck down low. There's a whistle and a turnover. So maybe not the cleanest of starts, but no points on the board yet.
Yeah, look for the Braves to really try to feed Big Z down the post. That play, they run that a lot, so we'll keep an eye on that.
I feel like we need to get the TV draw device out for an experienced player like yourself who's held the clipboard a fair bit of time, as you also spent time with the Dreamers. Ayao probing from some space with a touch pass, and it's going to be a 3-second call by the lead official on Amdi.
Amdi getting the start today. We'll see how he does. Definitely going to have a big task at hand guarding Big Z.
Singletary over to Chen Xiangjun, given space, but he'll choose to pass early in the game.
Here we go, the down screen.
Jet over to Singletary on the left side. The shot is up and in. Michael Singletary maybe eyeing up a possible Import of the Year award after already collecting 2 finals MVPs. Over to Ayers. And a ball had the slip pass. He's finishing. He's got the bonus coming up.
It's a great pass. Dahan's going to have an important role tonight as well. His passing and his ability to also stretch the floor as a 4-man is going to be really important tonight.
Chen Xiangjun will commit the foul. Maybe to a little bit to all of our surprise, as the very belated free throw goes up and in, as had a little extra rebounding shenanigans underneath.
Not much Ayers can complain about that, because I think Amdi was the one who kind of stepped out.
That will try 2. It's good. Nine consecutive points in 3 possessions as KJ got his hands on it, as Sijingyao can't get the shot off. I think it's going to be Huang Han who's called for the illegal screen. Well, Chen Xiangjun, I started kind of the surprising MVP candidate for the Braves. He's upped his per game scoring to 12.6 and is a mainstay in their starting lineup.
Yeah, he's been really consistent game after game.
JJ rolls into 2. It's an 8-3 start for the home Braves. Currently on a 5-game winning streak and currently undefeated after the Lunar New Year's break, which is after their 4-game losing streak. Fine to Huang Han, who puts it off glass. Broken play there. Almost turned into a Braves fast break. Singletary guarded by Huang Han, getting an angle, finishing through Jeffrey Ayers, and a little bit more rebounding shenanigans after 2.
Yeah, both teams starting off playing really physically. It's gonna be a long night for both teams, but here we go.
Huang Han now getting Ayo to screen for him, getting some room around, and now they call a hook on Amdi. Certainly a situation where the offense and defense are kind of both fighting with a lot of that extracurricular hand activity.
I think the Braves have started off a little more disciplined. They've been sticking to their sets, and there's been a lot of off-ball screen actions that have led to open opportunities. And here the Pilots kind of getting a little, playing with their hands. Didn't call for the foul.
Now it's Huang Han with the extra shove, and quickly Guan Dayo will check in the game. He's seen a lot less action than he did the first season, and even less the second season, and the third season, only recently getting an extended time with a start a couple weeks ago. 3 team fouls by the Pilots, 1 by the Braves, as Singletary tries from the elbow. Zaitsev right there, picks up his teammate.
The Pilots traditionally started off with their single import, so rebounding is going to be a key factor when they have only one import on the floor.
Bad miss by Ayao, so another chance for the Braves to increase on this lead.
I think Zaitsev really brings more space to the floor because of his shot, and he can always stay out, and he'll, as well now.
Singletary hits the tough shot over Justin, and now a 14-5 lead. Zaitsev started the season with injury and didn't come in till after the turn of the calendar to 2023. Welcome return for the third-year player with the Braves, as Chen Xiangjun gets the easy block on the outside. For Chen Xiangjun. kind of taking over for the landlord, Chen Wenting. Also putting up decent block numbers, 1.3 per game. Braves get Shi Zhonglong in, and immediately they go backdoor on him.
Good pass.
Dayo with a holding foul, and the Braves will be in the bonus for the rest of 7:28.
Braves really making an effort to really push the ball. Even after makes, they're getting the ball out to the wings and into the, trying to find open layups.
KJ will try from the corner. It's in.
The one thing we noted pregame was three-point shooting, and Braves had started off really strong in this first quarter.
Already hitting 3 on those. They hit 27% on the season series, which is nothing fantastic, but compared to the Pilots, 15 is an incredible improvement as Ayers has to force one up. Jason Washburn in the action, held there. Will stay with the Pilots.
Washburn, obviously with some NBA experience as well, so he brings a lot to the table for the Pilots.
Well, it's our first break of the game. Plus League basketball on the way. We'll be back after this.
比尔要带给大家什么样的动作？哦，比尔怎么了？这是什么？这是拖把吗？还是刷子？哦，拖把刷子在头上。哦，来，第一组朋友跟着比尔做动作。好，来一个 Superman 的手势，恭喜 copy 成功。下一位，下一组朋友。 脸颊爱心，跟着比尔来，谢谢你们，挑战成功，下一组。好，正式高飞，一起为勇士加油，挑战成功，下一组。来，下一个动作。
It's Bill on the in-stadium camera, interacting with the fans. Folks, welcome to the broadcast. Like the stream for Matthew Yang's first Plus League broadcasting opportunity. Have you ever done the headphones on a sporting event?
I haven't. This is an awesome experience. It's a different experience, you know. When you're usually on the basketball court, on the bench, to be behind the mic is something that takes some time to get used to as well.
Well, to be fair, I do know that you've also been a translator for the teams you've been associated with, so I don't think the talking part should be an issue, but I could be wrong. We'll see.
Well, when you're on the bench, it's different when, you know, wearing a headset, but this is still, you just get to learn that there's so much going on behind the basketball game.
Previously on screen is Chairman Shimada talking with Blackie, as we might need a little bit of a correction with the hardware in the arena, and that's something we've experienced previously at Hooping Gymnasium. Most notably, of course, in the finals, and it's something that's propped up from time to time. So the Pilots, in a certain sense, an upstart team, have jumped up to be the first place team in the Plus League for, this is currently week 16. They've had a piece of first place for 3 of the 16 weeks so far. And the other first place team is the new Taipei Kings, who got a huge boost having Joseph Lin come in. And it's big as well because their starting point guard last season, Kyle Lee Kayan, has had to miss several games with a little bit of a foot discomfort. So it's really a big boost to the Kings to have 2 guards that can rotate or can substitute for each other in case of injury, whereas the Braves right now are a little bit thin at that position.
Yeah, it's a long season, and this mid-season stretch is important. Each team, you know, has to make adjustments throughout the whole season many times. So we'll see how the Pilots kind of fare out this mid-season stretch.
Van Dayo good hops, but pokes it out of bounds. As back in the action, it's 17-7 for the Braves. They've been having a strong start from the three-point arc.
The Braves get a lot of looks out of this play.
It's Guandayo called for the 2 hands on the back, and the hooking is what is the Guandayo trying to achieve by getting so much hooking action on these screens? Because it's kind of the result of what we just saw. He could be called for the foul there.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get a slight advantage, knowing the screen's coming. Braves run this play a lot where they just hit Zaitsev in the top of the key, and then there's a lot of off-ball screen actions. And that makes it simple for Jet, too, when he's bringing the ball up. He knows what he's getting into and what to anticipate. And so that's where the Braves are really successful, when they keep it simple and they just stick to their game plan.
Former SBL MVP and still trying to get his footing, Xie Zonglong. We saw previously averaging 2 points per game in his first season with the Braves. Now they're on defense as the Pilots go straight to Washburn as they call a foul as the ball went in the basket awkwardly. We'll see how they figure this out. Washburn obviously trying to advocate for 2 points first. It was, like I mentioned, certainly awkward looking. Of course, the timing of the foul is the biggest factor of how this call works.
I think his hands, I think he was already on the rim before the ball was there, so, or some sort of basket interference.
As you might be able to hear, Washburn trying to argue that getting fouled from underneath, which the referees did call, but trying to make the argument that putting his hands on the rim was what protected him, but the referees making their argument that it's technically basket interference and the play is dead.
Right. So the foul stands, but the basket won't count.
We'll have to run out the line, which missed the first one. Here's Washburn's numbers, 21 points per game on the season, sneakily one of the league leaders in that department. Of course, famously the Pilots, led by Coach Caminos, choosing, as you mentioned, to play one import on the court a lot of the times, and the strategy being that they can save their energy as Jet trying to maneuver around Ayao, who went down, tries to take the tough shot. But Ethan Pauian drops it out of bounds.
Jet has been really aggressive in this first quarter, just getting to his spots and pulling the trigger.
Singletary through the center leaves it short. One thing for sure is the Braves are up by 11, but the energy in the building still not quite up to what it has been in this building, but a foul there, and so the Pilots will be shooting free throws the rest of the first quarter as Zaitsev's called for the foul. Towel to dry up the floor, but it's going to be a baseline out of bounds. Now, similarly, number 30, Pauian, might be coming off of the bench, but your observation, he plays an important role on the team as well.
Absolutely. He's one of their true point guards, as you have, obviously, Aya, number 28, and Junxiang, number 69. They're definitely more combo guards. Pauian has a very good ability to pass the ball and also bring the ball up with relative ease and low turnover rate. So I like him as a point guard, and he's really unselfish.
Yeah, we'll try from deep. 2 bounces and out, though, as Zaitsev had low positioning. A chance for the Pilots to cut it below double digits. Offense a little stagnant as Washburn switches it to the left side. Running low on time. Ethan will fall on the hardwood and turn it over. Little 4-on-2 as Jet beats the man and gets him to 21 points on the quarter for the Braves. Now Ethan had the hand. to be Ayers trying to back down Zaitsev. He has NBA experience too, but choosing to fade away. Jet picks it off the hardwood. Here come the Braves once again. Foul from behind. He'll have to earn it at the line. Right now, the Pilots' stagnant offense is starting to hurt them on defense too.
Right.
Again, it's Ethan venturing into the middle, and just like when the Dreamers kind of got in trouble against the Steelers in yesterday's game, ball in the middle will attract all that defensive attention.
It'll be interesting to see how the Pilots make their adjustments, because when either Ayers or Washburn is in the paint, you got the other big out in the three-point line, and Zaitsev has defended well the past 2 times in the paint in the below post. So let's see how they kind of move the ball around and get open looks. It's not really working in the paint right now.
Pauian will check into the game. 4 minutes and 30 seconds as they start winding the clock. Calvin Chen likes the long sleeves this season. Looking for a Pilot as Ayers was covered up.
Braves read that play really well. They knew that crossing was coming, and they didn't let Washburn get the ball, and that kind of broke their play down in offensive foul.
Well, we've mentioned it's traditionally been a low-scoring affair between these two teams.
I think we're on track for something like that.
Well, 4 turnovers on the quarter will slow that up. Pilots have also not hit any of their 4 3-pointers. Pauian getting into the mid-range, but that's going to be a miss and a chance for the Pilots to run. Ethan out to Justin. He's going to try the middle, and he's held, so he'll go to the line. But 8 points in the first quarter is not really the start that the Pilots wanted. Though they did, in their first matchup here this season, go down 11-16 against the Braves. The mark is much bigger than that right now, as Tokwe will come in for KJ. Justin swishes the first free throw. Only shooting the ball 35% from the field, but on his role on the team he's got the green light no matter how he feels out there.
Right. Obviously, he's a big 3-point threat, but even in the pick and roll, he's able to get to the basket, draw fouls, and he's just so involved at all 3 levels. So he's a very key player to this offense.
Jidon screens for Singletary. Gives it back to him, flies through and lays it in.
Great pass.
And Ayers trying to beat it. The entire Braves defense will keep possession though, as Zaitsev will get a block to his name.
The Braves are protecting the paint very well. Their help defense and rotations have been on point. Help coming from both Zaitsev and Xie Zongrong.
A rebound, and here come the Braves again. Backdoor to Tokwe, but his pockets were picked as Zhen Xiangjun takes the pass, goes to the bucket.
That's what really separates him from other guards. His ability to really just penetrate and score.
As Zaitsev steps through and he scores himself. The Ukrainian center, as mentioned, been with the Braves for 3 years. The second year, the year before was with Pauian. Left wide open in the corner. Doesn't have the hot hand though from the layup.
You can see from the start of this game, the Braves have really made an effort to just get the ball out in transition. And
good stop by Washburn down there to cause the travel on Zaitsev. Not much of an argument from him, as you've seen the background. Pauian, second overall pick, and first overall pick, Mayao Zhenya, will come on at the same time.
A lot of opportunities for these young players, and they bring a lot of energy and stamina. So I think we'll see the Braves continue to run in this first quarter.
Pauian and Smart will come in for their respective teams as Smart has kind of had to work his way back in, having to deal with injuries himself.
Well, he had a great season last year, especially in the playoffs. Made some key shots. Here we go.
Poor awareness as Taoyuan will get 2 free throws, taking it to the body of Zaisev. Understandably, tough situation for Big Z, but not a good awareness play by Smart there.
That was a good take by Taoyuan. Just going straight into the chest of Zaisev and not. He's obviously known to be more of a 3-point shooter, but taking it up and two shots at just right.
I don't know about 3-point shooter. That poor miss on the first one, then bouncing out the first free throw. Need to get warmed up a little bit more. Only a 64% free throw shooter. But as we've learned in the Plus League, it might take a little bit of time for even the best players to really work their way to the star level that people might have expected out of players coming out of college. Lai Tian looking for Chen. He'll fire away with a big bouncing out. Easy block by Chen on Calvin, and here come the Braves on the break. To number 1, and he blows the layup, but Zaisev fighting hard, scoops the left hook lay short. A break for the Pilots.
Here's their floppy play.
Turning into a Washburn low post. He'll try from mid-range and out.
That was good defense by Zaisev, really pushing Washburn out before he could get a good look, and it gets a good spot, so he had to settle for the mid-range jumper.
Making the decision, going to the basket and through the Pilots defense. He's got 2 more.
That was a really good play by Chen. He was patient off the pick and roll, and then he was able to get a good look driving downhill.
Chen goes by Phil, an English name he just adopted, coming out of Jinshin University, but there's a 3 answered by Washburn. And a sorely needed bucket for the Pilots.
Back screen.
On the other side, but another careless situation by a Braves forward. Now Calvin trying to challenge, and he'll get the lay-in. Well, he's blocked pretty easily before, but kind of fooled the defense there. It's a 11-point deficit for the Pilots with 1 possession left. Turning into a Horns. Zaisev, given room, fires away to the Pilots. They have a little bit of time. Washburn with a runner, almost got it. That would have been a lot of fun, but the Pilots find themselves down by double digits at the end of the first 12 minutes of this one. Well, on February 19th, you're watching Plus League basketball. We'll be back after this.
再次双手借给勇士，一起来 ，1, 2, 3, here we go！ 双手 比2，谢谢各位。
PLG Tuesday night basketball will come here to Taipei Heping Gymnasium for the first time this season. Don't miss this rematch of last year's finals teams in the Hsinchu Jiekou Lioneers against the Taipei Fubon Braves. Well, the Braves currently lead the Pilots in the early goings and have come out strong, one shooting the basketball from 3, and then through the course of the quarter have also played really strong defense against the Pilots, and the Pilots need to answer back.
Yeah, look for the Pilots to use a few different sets. They've been running similar plays where they kind of just get it to the big man down low and just kind of run into a wall with side set. Looks like it's a similar play with Washburn down low, trying to get the mismatch, but the ball can't really get in.
Smart jumps the pass and forces the Pilots to start from 70 feet out. Washburn with the tough shot. At least put it on target, but it's a chance for the Braves to attack off the rebound. Sparrow tried from 3, no good. Flirting with that sideline, get it out.
This is their classic motion look. They have 2 bigs out on the outside.
Yeah, in and out though.
Pilots have been settling for tough looks, and that kind of, after a long miss, that lets the Braves get out running.
This time the illegal screen was called on Brendan Smart.
Look for the Pilots to run a play out here.
The previous game they played, the Pilots lost by only 2 points with Beast hitting a tough jumper with 38 seconds left. And on the bench right now, Ayao had a chance to tie it with a runner. Another miss for Zhang Zhenya, who was creeping toward 40% shooting the 3 and got a little bit more work to do with the slow start this game. Slip pass to Smart, taking the physicality and scoring the bucket. Count it.
That's where the Braves are a huge threat with Mike Singletary in the pick and roll, because he has so much offensive scoring ability that opens up the roll man, and here he hits Smart and easy basket and 1.
Pom Pom, the player who committed the foul, was Washburn, couldn't provide the block from behind. A 3-point play. Strong start for the Braves yet again. Putting on pressure on Pom Pom. Puts it on the deck and pops it up. Lai Tian with speed and miss from close.
The Braves have been putting a lot of pressure on the Pilots out, way out of the 3-point line.
But quickly down the floor, it's Washburn with early positioning.
And that's how the Pilots are going to get back in this game, really. Just getting the ball up and then hitting Washburn or Pom Pom or Ayers out in the low post where they can kind of get a quick basket.
Singletary from 35 feet, wow!
That's what makes him so hard to guard, because he can just pull up like that.
That makes it 10 points on the game, and a special record that he just achieved. We'll share with that later as Washburn misses the dunk. Thought he had contact though.
They got numbers again.
Dokoi finally finding his friend Singletary, fires away, and another one! Too much firepower from the one man, forcing the Pilots to call timeout, and they are completely discombobulated, especially on the defensive end. But of course, the Braves kind of took it easy on them, with Josh not finding Singletary till much later. So this break means we're going to another commercial break, and these messages. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and an efficiency rating currently of 21 for one Michael Singletary in what is just 12 minutes of action, and he's right now the force that the Pilots cannot stop.
Right now the Pilots struggling on offense. The Braves defending on the perimeter, settling for tough looks, and that leads the Braves running in transition. That's kind of been a difference this first half.
Again, challenging the middle, flings it up and out of bounds. Playing a little bit too fast there.
I think right now the Pilots have been just showing their card, really just trying to get into Washburn, while Braves now bringing Jet back up. Got a quick rest. Another threat to their offense.
Maneuvering left, taking the long two, and that's a break out of bounds, but the Braves trying to argue it for themselves. A sly smile by Smart as couldn't convince the referee, so it's going to be Pilots ball. Washburn will head to the bench. He's got 6 points to his name and lead the Pilots in scoring. Of course, they only have 20. Pong looking for an outlet. And a handoff action to Justin. They cover it up. Doubled and tripled and throws it into an easy turnover. Singletary over to Jet, who flies in for another score. Right now, the Pilots looking like the furthest thing from a first-place contender in the regular season.
Yeah, right now, Smart and Shizong have been defending well out in the perimeter.
Ujishan stops the run with a reverse layup there, though how he's unfortunately missed a few in critical moments. Kind of gave the Pilots fans a little bit of a scare. Okoye given room, he'll aim it up and add to the damage. Not been shooting the ball great in his third season, but might be able to explain it with his additional point guard responsibilities. Xiaobai try to get the counter, he does.
First time Pilots running that play out in the horns and leads to an open three.
Smart screens. Now Jet going to the basket. Off to Okoye from close, too easy.
The Braves have been moving really well without the ball. There, so Okoye just cutting to the basket and then getting an easy layup.
Singletary called for the blocking foul as Aya was making a move again. Jet can get caught sometimes being overly aggressive, but that time, like you said, the cut was right into the right spot where you can be found by the man with the basketball, which sometimes is more important than even getting open.
That's where the experience comes into play when they play together for so long.
Paul will fly in, a screen assist to Ayers down low. Okoye hit one before, hesitates, and this one halfway down and out.
Xiaobai's been out on the court for a while now, playing that point position.
Ujishan going to the cup, high off the glass, but it bounces out. Right now, what's also been a problem for the Pilots is Singletary aims up another one, but mercifully for the Pilots and their fans, it rolls out.
Oh, that's the toilet bowl.
Well, the Pilots, between Ethan especially, dribbling into the Braves defense, they do so much to get in the way of that as Jet called for the foul there.
Pilots have been aggressive. Sometimes some of their shots have just been unlucky, but they really got to stop that transition offense by the Braves. That's what's been hurting them the most.
Out of the baseline, Braves with 3 team fouls. As they don't run it all that well, but Ayers is the tall outlet they need. Zhang attacking off the dribble, and it's Zhouguiyu who was a little bit late. Of course, Jet is also credited for being one of the best Braves perimeter defenders, but Zhouguiyu's sometimes also tasked with being a stopper on the outside. What makes a good perimeter defender in the Plus League?
Really just getting low, staying low, and getting wide, and really shuffling your feet.
Well, so much for that, as a big just splashed a three. Jeffrey Ayers gets the Pilots to 30 points, and the Braves now utilizing one of their timeouts. And that's also a similar play that the Pilots like to use, as they're kind of imitating the Braves in having three-point shooters from 1 to 5, while their motion offense, which they run, I'm guessing 65–70% of the time, running down the clock, somebody might still be open on the outside, especially if it's one of your import bigs.
Right. The Braves and the Pilots actually run very similar motion plays, where traditionally you have one big who's out on the top of the key and one big out in the paint, but they have both their bigs out on the three-point line, and that just adds another shooting threat to their offense. And if they do run the pick and roll, you'll see players like Justin really have that open space to drive into the lane, because you have both bigs out in the perimeter.
Coach Roger Shujin's a two-time Plus League Coach of the Year. And of course, something that's also been pretty incredible is also been able to retain his entire staff in 3 consecutive seasons as well. And that continuity certainly has a lot of benefits, as of course the younger players have opportunities to learn the system better, and maybe they know even better how to utilize their veterans and also allocate some rest. And as mentioned, unlike any other team in the Plus League, they will also have a competition in the East Asia Super League in their Championships Week, where they'll go to Utsunomiya for a game against the SK Knights in the KBL, and then their second game against the Ryukyu Golden Knights in Okinawa. Now, they do have those dates available in the Plus League scheduling. There's this additional scouting and an additional load for the team personnel to kind of navigate on the season, as KJ finds a lane and scores.
Pilots have been a little slow in their rotations, getting kind of caught up in a lot of those handoffs and ball screens where you let the guy just run up the lane.
Maya will get to the mid-range, but no. Kind of like the Pilots forgot the memo that this is supposed to be the highest scoring environment in the Plus League. Yeah, kind of spins in a little trouble. Up to throw it out. Back to Jet. There's his set shot. No. Pilots will slow it up though.
That's a look that the Pilots will give up. This Jet, traditionally not a three-point shooter, but he can make those.
This season, 8 for 40. This is from close. Singletary through 2 Pilots, kick pass to Zaitsev with a one-handed slam.
That's a little too easy for the Braves. Almost coast to coast, dumps it off right to Zaitsev with an easy layup.
Part of what makes Singletary so tough is his ball handling skills as well as his power. On the skip pass will fire away, and 4 bounces and out. The quadruple doink? Is that a thing?
Reminded me of Kawhi Leonard back in the playoffs, but this one doesn't fall.
Foul by Ethan or Xiaobai. Always fun when the Pilots play the Lioneers and you have a Xiaobai and a Xiaohei, but the nice dish and the dunk finish. Those 2 players of the Braves, the 2 imports, with them for the entire Plus League history. All the other 3 teams from the inaugural year seeing some turnover in that personnel department as Jet misses off the board. Actually, Pong. They got a mismatch, but Singletary switches. Kick to Ethan. He'll try the long three. Too long. He won't trade in the game. We'll get it ahead to Jet. High off the glass and in another one. And again, another run-out opportunity.
This next 3-minute stretch is going to be important for the Pilots. Hope to bring that lead down, maybe they're at least 15. They can go into halftime and feeling good about themselves.
Right now, when you get to run like that, everything really opens up, and the Braves having a very high percentage offensive first half.
I've noticed that Coach Caminos has given Xiaobai freedom. On that last play, he just brought it up and played pick and roll with Pomo, and it just didn't really lead to much. Ended up with the long three, but we'll see how he kind of adapts these next 3 minutes, if he can get some good looks out of his running the offense.
If you are on this side, opposite side, go play the pin down. Hey, the pin down is the switch. Perfect.
Caminos' timeout.
Look, the problem is they have
notably
51 points.
They are focusing on the defensive end of things.
He's talking about usually in their down-screen actions. There's just two things happening at once, where you got Zaitsev out in the low post, and you usually have someone else like Singletary coming off a screen. So it's a tough call for the defender. Are they going to defend the low post, or are they going to defend the three-point shot?
When it comes to fast break points, of course, when you have the nickname Jet, it's got to be your strong suit. He's already got 11 points on the game, and 3 for 6 shooting the ball from 2, and probably excuse all those misses to some tough jump shots. But he's second in the field to Michael Singletary, and besides the two of them, 6 other Braves have also gotten on the scoreboard, so kind of indicative of the kind of tempo that the Braves right now are dictating. Meanwhile, while a lot of Pilots have scored, they've also turned the ball over 7 times, and also just not quite there with a 3-point shot. So Ayers will aim one up. Long rebound, batted out by Ayav, excuse me. Washburn will take a try. No. As the slot side official will get a whistle on the play. Ayers favoring that left ankle. Let's see who it's on. And Zaitsev, another one underneath, and it looks like the slightest of tweaks as his hands went into the chest of Ayers. So maybe the combination of what happened with his feet and the hands to the chest, that combination is what the referee couldn't ignore. And for the Braves, of course, how they love to go on the fast break, they would have had numbers advantage. So a little bit of a double whammy, but Ayers, of course, kind of worried about any possible tweak that might take his time off the court.
Yeah, notice that when he came down on the ground, it wasn't really so much the contact with Zaitsev, but rather kind of went hard onto the ground. So I hope he's okay.
One thing about the Pilots this season, they will play very physical defense and not be afraid of fouling. It's not quite the case in the second quarter, as Jeffrey Ayers sinks the first free throw.
They haven't really been able to limit the Braves into their half-court offense, and so a lot of the Braves' offense have just become transition opportunities. So it's not many opportunities to even foul them or play physically.
2 for 2 trip. Xie Zonglong will come in for Li Mengxue. So those two guys are kind of the exact kind of position switch for the Braves, and what a luxury to have. Two local bigs that you can trust, as Washburn crowded Zaitsev a little bit too much. They do have fouls to give, but 45 feet from the basket. I don't quite know if that's for Caminos and the staff intent.
Yeah, he already had Zaitsev in a tough situation. If he just kind of put his hands up in a tough pass.
KK will try the fancy step back. It's in.
It's a very tough shot. Step back, hand in his face, swishes a 3.
One one of the few lefties on this Braves team, but it's very plain to see how sometimes odd-looking it is, but effective as the Pilots cut off that transition pass. Sijinghao with an open look. You can tell from the release, the rotation wasn't there. Well, one thing that we were kind of saving, and we obviously didn't hope to use, but a reminder to our audience that the Pilots have not won a single time here in Hoping Gymnasium against the Braves as Ayao crashes into Jet and sends him to the line, not making it easier on themselves. It's definitely one of those games that really tests you as you see KJ with the dance out there. And in fact, he's perfect from the field, 4 for 4 for 10 points.
Very consistent for a young player like him. Just came over from the Kings just last season and able to find his role and find his spot on the team. It's impressive.
Then this is the second one as Zaitsev goes down.
Numbers right now.
Hopefully passing to the corner. But the Braves cover it up and cause a turnover themselves. Jet trying to take it to the middle. They say legal defense as a few Braves were going down there after the play.
A lot of times the Pilots think they're open and then the Braves plug the gaps just like that and they're gone.
Probably crediting the Braves defense with a steal there, but in essence, 3 Braves jumping up to block Lu Junxiang in what they thought would have been a shot attempt. In any case, just a lot of defensive pressure, but it kind of started with the pass, not getting all the way there on the fly. One set for the Pilots. Again, slow movement.
The Braves have been giving them pressure out on the three-point line as well, which is making them kind of second-guess themselves and have to make tough passes. And the Braves are rotating, just making it hard for the Pilots just to even get a shot off.
I think it's kind of taking the page out of exactly the Pilots book, trying to put a lot of pressure on the basketball. Jet jumps out for the steal, but a whistle first as Shiz Honglong. Looks like he had a clean block on the back end, but maybe they saw something on the drive.
Shiz Honglong has been playing impressively. He's rotating to the ball every single time, making it hard for anyone to score.
Indeed, it was JJ Honkai Jet, out of Denton University, so playing in front of one of his biggest alumni supporters. See Lu Junxiang, 2 for 6 from the field, and when the story with his hair is he has military service due up, so while he still quote-unquote has his civic freedoms in terms of his employment situation, he's gonna grow out his hair as much as he can before he has to shave it. Jumps the pass, but it doesn't come, so it's KJ. Zaitsev in the corner, he hesitates, then lets it go, yes! 58 points for the Braves on the first half. Easily representing the hottest half that either of these teams played against each other, scoring the basketball. Washburn stepping through, he'll get the foul, and the hoop in the harm.
That's a really important play, really important bucket for the Pilots, because not only does he get the and-one, but they'll get a 2 for 1 and an opportunity before the end of the second quarter.
That's right, and Zhen Xiangjun, after a long stint on the bench, will check back in the game.
That's what makes the Braves so impressive, because you feel like someone's coming off, but someone equally as important is coming on. So it just makes them so hard to play against.
Washburn completes the 3-point play. And here's this 2 for 1 opportunity. But Jet with the quick runner, easy. So left with the last possession, down by 23 points.
set. We're looking for them to really run that clock down before getting a playoff.
Low pass into danger territory. They call it legal as Jet, one man to beat, will get the score.
Not great time management right there.
That's forcing a tough three as Wu Shang. And then Washburn couldn't get the shot off, and continuing to build on this lead as the Pilots reeling the Braves, surging here in game 66. Players are on their way to the locker rooms as the action has been very one-sided through the game. Well, it's halftime coming up. Take a break and we'll be breaking things down from Hoping Gymnasium. Some esteemed guests here in the Plus League. It's the B.LEAGUE's chairman of the Japanese Basketball League, Shinji Shimada, leading a contingent from Japan, catching up with Chris Tai and members of the Tai family, of course, at the home of the Taipei Fubon Braves. There's Aaron and Mark Yangzhen and Tianhong Kui on the Mandarin broadcast. Over here on the English side, it's myself, Ryan Chen, joined by Matthew Yang, and is making his broadcasting debut. We'll see how it goes. Let me just first say that. But anyways, the action on the floor has, as we mentioned, pretty one-sided. And I looked it up. Soon we'll see the combined team box scores, but I know they won't put it out right away. Is the only thing that the Pilots lead in this game is at the free throw line 10 for 12 versus the Braves who are 6 for 7. But in all the other aspects, it's the Braves who are taking care of business on their home court despite playing against a team higher than them in the standings.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves have just come out punch after punch, and for the Pilots, they're just kind of taking those hits and responding in a pretty flat way. They've been playing hard, but they've been just settling for tough shots, and that's been leading to the Braves kind of running out in transition and scoring with ease, and that's how this lead kind of went from 10, 15 down to 25.
Now they weren't even turning the ball over at a extremely high rate, but you got a feeling that the Braves, on any mistake their opponents would make on offense, the Braves would take that and turn it into an opportunity themselves the other way, and that's the forte of course, the two-time champs.
Absolutely. Yeah, they weren't turning the ball over that much. They're taking care of the ball. It was just the tough looks and long shots that with those long rebounds. And obviously with some good shooting, Mike Singletary just pulling up from 35 feet. You can't really guard that, and you can't really ask for anything more. But sometimes it's just one of those nights.
Speaking of Michael Singletary, already 13 points on the game, and what seemed like some easy work in the first half, shooting the 3-ball, running the floor. It was then Jet who took over the mantle and scored in transition, his strong suit. And whatever they do in the half court, the Braves seem to be just executing a little bit better. There's the combined team statistics where 62-37 is our score. They've taken close to the same amount of shots, but a 12 field goal difference is a very big one to overcome. 18 for 17, the Braves shooting the ball well from deep as well, and the Pilots continue to not find the mark. It's not like they don't have their open looks either, so maybe it's something about this building that really makes a huge difference.
I think look for the Pilots to really key in on halftime. One of their key points is going to be really putting pressure on Jet, bringing the ball up.
We'll go to another break before the second segment of halftime.
可以获得加菜的朋友，再次欢迎我们金色山脉的执行长，欢迎我们的叶执行长。
A healthy number of orange out there in the stands, but their team may find themselves down big against the Braves, whereas the Pilots, we bring you their leading scorers, starting with Jeffrey Ayers, who got the start of the game, 10 points, then his import duo and Jason Washburn with 9 points. Wu Zhishan's got 8, Xiao Bai hit a 3-pointer, Huang Han's got 2 points, but on the scoring side for the Pilots, they're definitely looking for a spark. And on the Brave side is Jet with 16, Singletary with 13, KJ has got 10 points, and Ira Zaisev has got 9. Josh Dogui coming off the bench has 5 points. And one thing that's certainly been clear to me is that the Braves also doing a pretty decent job rebounding the basketball. And so already with 3 players in double digits, let's see if the Braves can hold still. Let's see if the action in the second half picks up and kind of wakes up the fans in the building, as it has been a one-sided affair for the home team, and they've been able to do it in transition to the Brave style. We throw in a Zaisev dunk, so maybe there's certain things to be happy about, but Michael Singletary will be getting the pre-second half highlight package, 13 points, and the special record that he achieved is 50 consecutive games in the Plus League, scoring in the double digits. Not only a man who could do it all skill-wise, but certainly brings the offensive firepower too.
Yeah, he's been a key figure tonight, whether that's blast on putting the ball on the floor and even pulling up from deep. So he's been a key engine tonight, but one of the keys that the Pilots can kind of key in on in terms of kind of bringing this lead down is really putting pressure on Jet, putting pressure on their guards, especially when they have the ball out, bringing it up and out on the three-point line. If they can cause some trouble in the Braves offense, they might be able to kind of push into this lead and hopefully bring this into a closer game.
Sonny not registered for the game, so that's why the camera keeps tagging him. Though he did change to a black t-shirt. Let's see if that changes up their luck. The incredible thing about Michael Singletary's night, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 0 turnovers too.
And very all-around numbers.
Not that the Pilots live off of turnovers, but I'm saying when they're down by so much, they can use all the help they can get. The Braves will start with a basketball out of halftime, and it's Ethan who will actually start the half off guarding Jet.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of this first half, so see how he does in the second half. Back to their classic play. It's right side.
Squeezing his way left. Singletary rifling it back to him. Attacking off the dribble as Wu Jingxiang fouls his collegiate classmate, and Chen Xiangjun. Almost a good defensive possession for the Pilots.
Walks away.
Here's Amdi. He got the start in the game, but maybe the inexperience or maybe the scheme wasn't quite to the Pilots' plan.
Pilots clearly trying to come from behind, so they got both their imports on the floor, have some size, and hopefully try to get some points back. Down 26 right now. The horn set. This is where the Pilots have been stagnant. They don't really know where to get the ball to. You only have 8 seconds on the clock.
Justin catching, then going to the basket, stuffs it in.
We might need more of that tonight. Justin just forcing his way, and he's been really, he has really needed to earn those buckets tonight.
Only 2 for 6 from the field as Jet with a close miss. Zaitsev again picking up his teammates.
Zaitsev has been really important, those offensive boards tonight.
Had that one block and a chance to run, but the ball bounces KJ's way. And kind of curiously enough, it's a shot clock violation. I guess correctly called by the referees and the scorer's table. Didn't have a good grasp on it, so in a stumbling, bumbling way, the Pilots get a stop.
That's a turnover, so see how the Pilots take advantage of that.
Now it's Washburn running the offense over to Ayers. Here comes their high-low set now.
Exactly, trying to hit Ayers in that low post.
To the other side, easy reverse leg.
Now the Pilots' defense is going to be important. Stop the Braves.
Michael Singletary, no good, and Zaitsev pokes it out of bounds. So the only consolation for the Braves is forcing the Pilots to take it out of the baseline. You see Ayers, a little finesse there.
They've been running this play a lot. They're about to try to hit Ayers in that low post again.
Washington will pull in the trigger.
He had an open look, just didn't hit it. Oh, here's a steal.
And Singletary bumps and maybe took the worst of it. He's hobbling off to the corner.
Hopefully it's just a dead leg, what we call it, where he gets kind of hit in the quad area. Nothing worse.
Casual pass and kind of maybe he got hit in the knee or on the side of the inside of the ankle, but
yeah, that didn't look too good. But hope that it's just a stinger.
Right. Hope it's more pain than actual damage. Still doubled over. These substitutions were coming up, but kind Kind of interesting how the trainers didn't flip him on his side or on his back to keep the pressure off his knee, but we'll have to get the update later. There he is heading toward the bench as they double airs. Just forces the pass, but into the hands. Winston fresh in the game.
It's always there, that ace up their sleeve. Winston coming in fresh late in the game, always providing an impact whenever he steps on the floor.
Yeah, with a tough jumper going left. Now it's Ayo's turn. On the reset, Zhishang. Washburn, he's trying to squeeze. 6 seconds on the clock. Now he fires from deep, no.
Well, Justin had a good opportunity for the pick and roll on the empty side, but he decided to swing it back to Washburn and then settle for a tough shot.
Yeah, left with space. Out to Winston. Had that one blocked.
Try to be a little too fancy there with his lean into the player, and airs right there with an easy block.
So this third quarter, slowly cutting into this Braves lead.
There we go again, two-man game.
Washburn now isolated. The double comes, puts up the hook all net, and as slow as this offense is going, again, they're cutting into this lead. Now down by 20.
Yeah, the Pilots have been responding well. Obviously with, oh, there you go. Good defense right there, almost got the steal. The Pilots have been putting more pressure on the Braves guards.
They leave KJ open though, and there's a dagger, and trying to get an extra credit for that one too. 13 points on his night. Staying perfect from the field.
Back to their horn set. Look for them to hit. Airs down in the post.
Ayo will try from 3, and he's still ice cold out there.
Right now the Braves just letting them shoot.
Deflected pass. Ayo will wait for some support. Through the hands and a turnover.
Now the Pilots players just walking back. It's not a good look. We got numbers.
Winston airballs his first attempt. Again, the Pilots are kind of catching some breaks. Some out of their own effort, some out of the Braves. Not starting this third quarter as strong as they want. Justin had that one partially blocked. Up ahead to Jet. Nice flip to Zaitsev. Back to Zhishang Jun, who blows the easy layup. And now Winston, last man back there. Knocked over, though. They call the blocking foul on him, and certainly frustrating for, I guess, both teams with the back and forth nature being so physical.
Yeah, Pilots fortunate that Zhen Xiangjun blew the layup, or else it would have been a 25-point game. But foul on the other end, so Pilots will get the ball.
He's lining up for the free throw as the referees administratively need to check who commits the fouls, and they're going to get this TV timeout in, as got a lot more basketball left, and Michael Singletary looks like he's ready and back for action, but it'll have to be after these messages from our sponsors.
热情掌声献给富邦 Angels。
Maybe not quite the old adage, but a missed layup on one end creates a easy scoring opportunity for the other team on the other side as the Fubon Angels perform for the first break of the second half, per usual. Well-attended game here at the home of the Braves, who've sort of recovered from a slow start in the third quarter. They do maintain the 20-plus point lead, but one of those rare poor outings from Winston, at least to start the game. And of course, we were talking about, fortunately, Singletary back in action after a little bit of a break.
Yeah, glad that Singletary's back on the floor, looking like he's gonna be okay. Obviously, for the Pilots, they really need something out of this next 6 minutes in this third quarter.
Versus Washburn, now we've got to pass out of it. Justin driving left, losing the handles on it, and they'll call it out of bounds.
You like the aggressiveness, but just lost the ball. Braves ball.
His fourth on the night, which is the highest of any Pilot. Again, they don't turn the ball over a crazy amount.
First time doing a stagger screen.
Shot fakes to the drive. Now he's got to get a reset. The trap jet in the corner forced it even further back as Ethan now got two hands in there, and they call the foul on him.
Yeah, Xiaobai did really good defending Jet, not letting him penetrate in that pick and roll, but commits a ticky-tack foul right there, bails out the Braves, and 14 on the shot clock.
You could see Caminos saying, "You played 22 seconds of good defense, but I needed 2 more." But Taoyuan will take his spot on the floor as the Pilots this year's defensive specialist. Zhang Jing on the runner this time. I will say he did not make up for the missed layup, but it's 2 more points to his name.
Yeah, and the lead's back to 25. Here we go again. They've been running this play a lot in this third quarter.
Now to the right side as Taoyuan aims it up and knocks down the 3.
That's really big because they've been doubling airs once he starts walking down to low post, leaving that guard. And they've been baiting them to shoot, and there finally scores a 3.
Wu Xiang with the legal and really vertical challenge. So numbers for the Pilots as Washburn with a nice look away and the two-handed dunk.
Nice spark from Taoyuan hitting that 3 and then kind of getting open, allowing the defense to gravitate towards him, and Washburn there for the easy dunk.
Adre kind of taking a page out of Amigo's book, but he's trapped, and now Jet forced for a long shot. Ayao slow things up now.
It's been quiet tonight. See if we can pick things up.
They have a mismatch. Finally, they're going to go to it. Washburn now will try from the middle. He's fouled and one. I think it's his 3rd one tonight.
Pilots have been applying pressure to the Braves on the defensive end, leading to these open looks at the basket. It's a free dunk and now an and 1.
Now, Washburn is the tallest player for the Pilots at 7 feet tall, or 213 centimeters. And from the preseason, it was a little bit rough there, but he's found the finishing touch and has been a very important scorer, and even through fouls, as we keep an ear on the Braves huddle right now.
进攻的时候，请你做到2以上也可以。我们先做 fly， 可是 fly 的时候 you here。所以祥军你应该在同边这边啊。
Sounds like the Braves will stick with the 5 on the floor, try to create some momentum between Chen Xiangjun and Zaitsev, unless they want to switch things up.
假挡 go Mike pass to make it.
Hear Coach Xu talking about 2-man game. It's really keeping it simple. The Braves have been really successful out in their empty side pick and roll. Either the roll man where you have the guard just finding open players. It's been really tough on the Pilots. Pilots have been applying more pressure, which has caused the Braves to not be able to get into their sets so easily. That's been causing them trouble, and Pilots have been capitalizing. So now, a 25-point game, now 18, and Washburn at the line can make it 17.
Washburn now taking the lead in Pilot scoring with 15 points, throwing 9 rebounds, as you heard Roger's emphasis on that end of the floor. And like mentioned before, they don't lose a lot, even if Michael Singletary is not nearly as tall as either Zaitsev or Chris Johnson, but he can pull down almost 11 rebounds per game. Let's see Washburn's number as the referees. I kind of wonder if they could have had this conference during the timeout. They'll now head to the table, talking to the game commissioner.
They're just double checking as they trying to figure out who the free throw shooter is.
Admittedly, this is a pretty low-level mistake by the referees. All right, so it's Washburn at the line. Thankfully, he makes the free throw, so we can get over that.
Completes the three-point play. Here we go. Ray Chen, 0-0, applying pressure.
ITN now in the game. Float to the corner as the two imports in together.
And that's the two-man game we were talking about, that Coach Roger was talking in the huddle, but Zaitsev called for the offensive foul. Here's another opportunity for Pilots to kind of dig back into this lead.
Interesting, because it was almost like Sijingyao got his hand in there when it didn't need to be.
Here they're back to the Horns play. It's Ray Chen, airs down in the low post. That's what they're looking for all night. And then now he's called offensive foul. It's a rare call, but Pilots have been trying to get in there to their big man. It's that low post. Had a good look, but he's kind of used his butt and pushed out. Chen gets called for the foul.
Pilots between Washburn and Ayers are 8 for 15 from two-point range. KJ back to Xiangjun. Catch and shoot. Dances off the rim.
That was a good defensive sequence again by the Pilots. Really minimizing their look. Really.
That one's not called a foul, as both Washburn and Ayers trying to get a hold out of it. Pass the referee sailed out of bounds. And look at it, Chen Xiangjun did have the left hand too.
It's always a tough pass when you're trying to get into the paint from the top of the key.
I'll add one more whistle as Sijingyao a little too physical with Michael Singletary. They have tried a number of players on Singletary in this season, and of course of all seasons, but joining the fray for stretches is number 27, Zhang Zhenyao on him. Varying degrees of success, but I guess can compliment him as a rookie to get that assignment. Chen Xiangjun cans the three-pointer and injecting some life into the building.
They let him shoot that, and he knocks it down calmly.
Chen Xiangjun in the third quarter, now with 6 points. The Ayers, he's left open. Yes!
It's a big shot. Big shot. Braves are picking up momentum. The fans are getting to it, and Ayers coolly just hits a three.
Josh gets it back as Chen Xiangjun left open again, lets it fly. This time, not so much. Any opportunity is an opportunity for the Pilots now. Give Washburn low post look. Ayao, they say dribbled out of bounds, so Lai Tian getting credit for that stop there.
Pilots, 3 turnovers in just the last few possessions, hurting their chances to get back into this game.
Singletary, look his way.
They're really playing off of Zhen Xiangjun.
Dice that forced into a miss. Chance for the Pilots to run. Justin, the Washburn, going baseline, but they call legal defense as he throws it away.
The Braves have been rotating so well that when the ball gets into the post, he's really double teamed. Missed by Singletary right there. Another chance for the Pilots and almost turns it over.
Jokoir almost had that one measured out. Right now, I think personnel-wise, Caminos, he trusts the guys on the floor, but I'm kind of wondering if some new personnel might inject a little bit new energy, whether it's defensive intensity or some different offensive creativity. So it's Pong Pong in now as they're checking the clocks, making sure they're symmetrical. Not from the build or whatnot, but of the data they display, to be clear. Anyway, a little bit of a top pistol action. Backdoor, nice find, but a botched layup there by Justin. As Josh not opting to fade away, travel. Well, that's definitely a new thing for Zhen Xiangjun to have driving opportunities, but
got a little too excited on the closeout and danced and moved his feet before putting the ball down.
Tian giving Ayao problems. Not traditional low post look as Ayers goes to the reverse again. 2 points.
Ayers has been very consistent this quarter, getting the buckets that he needs when he gets that look. Another offensive foul, this time by Smart. The Pilots, Rays leaving the door open. Pilots can get a few more buckets before the end of the third. We could see an interesting fourth quarter.
Very quietly having a 19-9 scoring third quarter. Cross screen, but Jokoir's got the switch on him. Daniel will try another one, but here comes Ayers on the putback.
This is where you can tell Zaitsev's presence in the paint is so key, because now on the bench getting his rest, Pilots are taking advantage of the opportunity in the paint.
They cough it up, and with 18 seconds in the third quarter, chance to cut it even more, and now an illegal screen by the Pilots. As Jokoir took a hard hit there, and so kind of reasonably understand how the referees are trying to protect the defender there.
You know, as a player myself, the veterans would always tell me sometimes when you get called for the offensive foul for the big man, it really is because the guard right there, Justin, he didn't take his time. He wasn't patient. He tried to use the screen before his big could set, and then that's where he kind of brings his man into the big, and then there goes the offensive call.
Of course, it doesn't help that Ayers is so sturdy on the lower half, and so
yeah, and that's why Ayers was telling Justin to take his time before using the screen, set it up, and then we call for the foul.
6 seconds left. Lai Tian will go to Zhen Xiangjun, who can't get the close one. Would have been a nice find and not easy finish.
Braves a little unlucky. A few shots coming in and out in the second and third quarter. This game could have been much wider than it is now.
Only 9 points in the third quarter, so heading into the fourth and final frame, 58-71. Pilots inching their way back in.
要上班吗？好好把握现在，明天不想上班。小朋友应该是还不用上班。Hello， 帅哥美女，很好很好，明天不想上班的心情，可以哭哭，也可以双手一摊。两位要上班吗？两位小朋友明天要上课吗？欢迎大家跟他们一样，拿出热情，好好的舒压一下。大声呐喊出你的压力，迎接明天。好，两位，看一下大荧幕。你明天要上班吗，帅哥？各位讲着电话，看起来业务很多的小姐。两位明天上班吗？不用上班，不想上班，很好很好。希望你的老板不会看到。两位同学，明天应该是要上课吧？再次邀请大家在2月21号以及2月24号来到和平篮球馆，跟着勇士抒发你上班的压力。
Do you not want to go to work? Well, Travis has an interesting dilemma as admitting and even letting out a cry that he's at work right now.
Yeah,
it's only a one-day weekend here in the island of Taiwan and our municipalities.
You know, for basketball players and all the workers here in the building tonight, you know, when games are usually on the weekends, so you have a lot of respect for these players because they got to come out on the weekends and sacrifice their time to play for people who usually have to work on the weekdays, so a lot of respect for them.
And it's to my understanding that most of the time, the team coaching staff will allow players at least the one day off, Mondays or Tuesdays, depending on when they play. It's only on the rare occasion where you're given a second, what the pilots call pong pong day or a day off.
Right.
They're going to start with a possession as the Braves have Zaisef in there as Wu Zhishan cuts to the basket.
Really good patience from Justin there. You know, he felt some resistance. He didn't pass it off, kept his dribble. He was able to find a space and get to the basket.
Now it's just an 11-point lead for the Braves. Lai Ting-un ends up a deep shot as another offensive foul. Zhen Xiangjun doing too much on this screen where the Pilots were conceding the three.
They've been calling that. I think the Pilots have been doing a good job. They're known for their gritty defenders like right here, Chen. And when they feel that big movement, they just throw their body out and they sell the call, if you will. Now they're just going to a very traditional two-man game.
Ayao attacking on the dribble. He'll be called for the travel on the awkward-looking hop. So just the two-point layup to start the fourth quarter for the two teams combined.
Saw a little hand checking there. It's a close call, but a call for the travel before contact.
Now the Braves run a cross screen for Zaisef and Pong Pong. Hand hooking on the back.
Yeah, both teams have really similar play sets. They actually do have that play in their playbook too, and now they're going to it. But Pilots read it well. Made it hard for Zaisef to get down into the low post, but called for the foul.
So Josh in the corner. He's doubled, forcing it out. That's Taoyuan absorbs the contact and forces the miss.
Harris has really stepped up the second half, both sides of the floor.
Now a screen as Pompon will try to go to the basket and finishes off his own miss.
Pilots breathing life back into this game. Braves only 9 points this half, 62-point first half. Now it's just standing at 71. Pilots really brought the pressure.
Foul first as Chen Xiangjun put the ball on the deck. Not the most mobile of bigs, though. I could be wrong based on this play, though. Following his own miss.
Yeah, you might say that that's what he wanted to do.
I don't know if we've ever seen a little screen for a local big by the Pilots. I see it by other teams. Chen Xiangjun aims it up, and there's a bad miss. And chance to cut into the lead. Already single digits, and let's see what Roger might want to change personnel-wise.
The fourth quarter, you only have your one import, so we got to pick and choose. Do they want size and Zaitsev, or they want shooting and playmaking from Singletary? And clearly making a quick change, Singletary on the court. And also for the Pilots, Washburn subbing in for Ayers.
The combination of Ayers and Washburn have only occurred twice this season for the Pilots, both against the Lioneers, and they were victorious in both games.
But to me, this game right now has just been the locals on the Pilot side defensively. They've sharpened their defensive play. Just toughness right there.
That time Pompom trying to take on Jet as Taoyuan handed the cookie jar.
Ray has been playing very well. Didn't play much in the first half, so he came in with a lot of fouls to give, and he's just playing very physically. I'm sure even if he picks up 5 fouls this game, he's doing his job, and that's how the Pilots have been able to get back in this game.
Low screen for KJ and a lucky ricochet. I guess lucky, but Ayo put it in a funny spot. Pilots rebound. They're looking for Washburn to go. Pompom.
A lot of space for him to work, that empty side.
Going baseline in another reverse lay. This time it's number 15, Chen Guanquan. Who says Jeffrey Ayers is out?
And you feel that uneasiness in the gym right now.
Yeah, can't call the Pilots run as Ayo picks it off the deck.
They just can't buy a bucket. We got to look up what the lowest scoring half has been, because this is turning out to be a issue right now for the Braves. Can't find a basket.
They've held the Pilots to only 25 points on the, 27 points as more free throws coming up. So defensively, you could give them a pass, but like you're saying, 9 points in the third, held scoreless for 3 minutes of the fourth. That is not a recipe for success. No, I guess you could still have an insurmountable lead, but it's dicey. But anyways, the Braves going to talk it over on their bench as we have the last commercial timeout of this broadcast. Pilots making a comeback. Glad to see fans coming into the arena on a Sunday night before we have to head back to work. And oh boy, do I have a long list of things to do. But enough of that. It's turning into a close game between the Pilots and Braves on a second half, which is, you wouldn't think 27 points is mounting a comeback, but in this case, 27 points is a big comeback right now against the Braves. Only 9 on the half, scoreless, and almost 3.5 minutes in the fourth. That's probably why they're bringing in Singletary.
Yeah, usually when the Braves go up up by more than 20, they close that door quick. And game's usually over by the third quarter, but Pilots have persevered. Just within single digits. It's a testament to their grit coming back from a tough season last year and really changing things around. They're for real this season.
Washburn misses the first free throw. Now he's doing the slow routine. A little less antsiness from the rebounders. Yeah, will bring it up the floor.
We haven't seen shit. Song don't play that much. Now he's back on the court.
They try to blitz and, in fact, commit a foul. The ball going out of bounds is a little bit of what the referees talk about as context clues. That's probably the one thing that the Pilots staff probably is a little bit worried about, is possibly sending the Braves to the line. And it just encourages the Braves to take the ball to the hoop more aggressively.
Pilots with 4 fouls right now, so already in a bonus.
Fubon blitzing everything now as long pass to Brendan Smart, who splashes the 3.
Well, right now they're just trying to force the ball out of Singletary's hand and basically make anyone else make a play. Right there, Smart. It's a long move, so let's see how this game plan works for the Pilots.
Down with the Braves, do a pretty good job, but he rolls it in anyways.
We've seen that shot a lot this season. Here they go again, Mike Singletary. See how they guard it. Tries to stay in front.
Rattles it in. So a 2-point response. Go. 7.5 to go in the game as Pauian backing on the dribble, had no one to pass it to, and will be called for the double dribble. I guess he was going for the corner. See, Andy will check into the game. Let's see what kind of instructions Caminos gave him. It's Singletary taking advantage. Taoyuan's already fouled him before. Free throws coming up.
You could have called a foul there too, but Singletary's overpowering him. Very interesting to see Andy in this crunch time. Fresh legs, there's opportunity here to really make a stop and make a point in this game. So they double.
Guarding Chizomo and fakes left, goes right. The hook shot is in. So a little Braves run here, back up by 10. Washburn will go baseline, try to stuff. What we call a little cadence whistle, but come on, Mike. 3 years in the league, you know fouls are not challengeable in this league. Going baseline, beating one, and 2 defenders crashed in on it. Could be something on the body, or could be a point of contact foul.
Any plans for the league to implement
the biggest argument against is not having enough camera angles as advanced leagues who do have foul challenges. Right. So in the Plus League, this very basic set of camera work for our broadcast partners at Momo TV or FTV is 6. And then they've also included cameras behind the backboards, or in the case of the Dreamers, often underneath the basket support. And so you don't have opposite cameras on the other side of the floor, for example, that you really need to help out your video replays. Singletary crashing, then passing. Gets it back. Faking right, going left. He'll stay with possession, with only 3 seconds left.
Aya with a really impressive defensive stance right there. Went under the first screen because Singletary was far out behind the 3-point line, and right there, forcing his way. Singletary dribble off his foot. So 3 seconds left. Here we go.
Firing on the catch. Try to bank it in as Taoyuan
almost moves his feet right there. Luckily, no call for the Pilots.
They're looking Washburn's way. The defense zones up as KJ misses the steal as Justin with the drain 3, and the lead is down to 5.
That was a really good closeout. Justin just elevates over Singletary. Huge three-pointer. That's why he's been player of the month for the past 2 months?
For the past 2 months. First ever, as that wild pass will go to the backcourt, and a violation there. Almost had to stop myself from saying backcourt 2 times in a row. You know how awkward that is? Well, not awkward is, of course, the buttery smooth shot of Wu Jingxiang.
Very big shot. Well, there's still a lot of time on this in this game. Down to a 2-possession game. Here they run their Iverson set. Now a little miscommunication. Okay, hands it off. Goes back to the 2 side. Now he's about to go to work.
Takes a tough shot as they're going to call it for the Braves. Now this is some, or excuse me, for the Pilots. Now this is something they can challenge as an out of bounds, but Amdi and Brendan Smart battling it down there. And probably sensing for some fatigue. Caminos is calling timeout to regather the troops. Certainly Washburn's putting in a lot of hard effort. And Taoyuan, don't forget about him and his defensive stance. And I think primarily Ayao Sijingyao needs to make sure he's supported guarding Michael Singletary for the last 5-minute stretch.
Yeah, they've been really doing a really good job forcing the ball out of Singletary's hands or making him shoot a tough shot. That's the only way they're going to really claw back, because Singletary is pretty much unstoppable.
On this, we do. Cut.
That's one thing about Caminos' coaching, as we get to learn him and how he manages his team. He will give pretty much every player an opportunity, but we've also seen him really relying on what in baseball we call it, relying on his horses, his main guys, or whoever he feels like are his main guys down the stretch. And it's interesting because the training methods of every team is different, and I think Caminos, more just like Marchand, is also emphasized individual responsibility when it comes to practice. And so Marchand said that, I don't know why people make a big deal about my one-a-days, because similarly Caminos and the Pilots only have one-a-day practices.
I mean, when you look at this 27-point deficit now down to 5, the players that have contributed has been across the board, from their locals to their imports. So that has been really a testament to their hard work and their camaraderie and their culture that they've built, that they trust pretty much everyone from top to bottom. So like Justin right here hitting that big 3, and players contribute both on the offensive and defensive ends.
I think it also speaks to team culture, how you might almost need a whole different sub-package as they go with a deep inbounds to beat the clock. Wu Jingxiang jumps in front of that pass. Kind of actually escaped the 2 broadcasters in here, how little time they had. But they got to do it from the defensive end. But my point is, guys like Calvin, guys like Guan Dayo, Ethan, and even Huang Hohan, who's usually a mainstay in their rotation, they're getting very few minutes today, but it's working. Awkward fall there as Zaitsev looked open for 3. The rainbow is good.
That's a big shot for the Braves. Now the lead back to 8. A little breathing room for them. Let's see how the Pilots can respond.
Now under 5 minutes. Andy called for the travel there.
Once he did that jab and pump fake with his feet, easy call for the guys.
Kind of experience working against him there, as getting a look at Zaitsev just hanging out into his spot, a little bit left of center.
It's a practice shot for him.
Yeah, trying to put on the moves, and now commits the offensive foul, and good job by Taoyuan. In fact, the Braves got to kind of have a little bit of a cold sweat if the referees want to give it another look, because there's a hand right to the face. Possible U territory. Maybe they'll just let it go with a common foul, as Jet didn't have his eyes on.
Ray Chen has been very impressive tonight. He's been a key player, a key factor that probably wasn't on the Braves scouting report tonight. He's been a key figure in this comeback.
Now a Braves foul, and it'll mean Pilot's free throws as Pongpong's in for Amdi.
So for both teams now, for the next 4:32, it'll be free throws for every foul. So opportunity for the Pilots to score with the clock stopped.
Look at Washburn. So open that he even took a little hop there, and that's what he communicated to Pongpong before these free throws. And right now, I'm kind of thinking he wants to advocate for staying on the floor. It's just my guess. As look, Wu Jixiang now 6 for 12 shooting the basketball. So turned around a slow start. And of course, needed for any team who's got a scoring threat out there from their local side. High screen by Smart. High screen by Zaisev.
Stagger screen look.
And a deep two. Sijin Yao will come up with the board.
That's it. He was open.
Nice find, an easy score for Washburn on the big man running the break. Easy steal. Let's see if he can go coast to coast. One man to beat. Pump fakes and wild miss. Washburn right there to pick up his teammate. Braves scramble to get a trap. Now it's Wu Jixiang slipping through, though he misses. As Washburn again fighting will get a jump ball out of what was an awkward situation with Brandon Smart. Both those guys taking him to the deck. And it might be Braves ball. I guess it's net positive as you see Wu Jixiang kind of a little bit too much airtime there. But I think the right call by the refs to keep both players safe. Stopping play.
Yeah, now the past few possessions, the refs have been letting them play a little bit. We had that spell where they were calling almost every single illegal screen. Let's see how the next 3 minutes turn out. Every possession is going to be really important.
Nobody sees Jet open underneath, so it's Zhou Guiyu working to the right side, pumping, now shooting, it's good.
It's a great shot. Really patient. He saw that Ayal went under the screen, reversed it, and Ayal got back, but Josh just elevated and hit the tough jumper, leading to the right.
Justin slips it to Washburn, but it goes through his hands. The entire Braves defense collapsing.
And this is where Justin's, MVP candidacy, is really going to be tested in these high-pressure moments because he can show that he can score 20 plus a night, but right there, another turnover leads back to 6.
Right. There's Jet on the second effort, but he missed the foul. And that's credit to Jet, his persistence. Not had a great offensive game, but 1 or 2 times you can take advantage of a young buck there. Caminos will call a timeout, and I think even more so in this situation than his last timeout. He really needs to get his guys refocused as the Braves have made their adjustment, and now it's time for the team in white.
Pongpong with the Smart, okay? On this, when... ¿Quién está defendiendo? Again. Okay, attack Jack. I want the set. The thing that I want is, when we are playing this, here, Justin, give the ball Jason. Ray, cut. Ajao, 2-man game with Jason. Okay? We go quick to floppy 5, but this is nothing. We want to swing the ball and play. Boom. You back. You pass the ball. You go. And we have Justin. Ray is going to be a little bit here. Here, do one thing. Don't scream. Give the ball and go. Ray, fade the scream. I want to play on the other side. And have Pongpong. When Jason is doing this, you have to be here. Okay? We create a focus inside to swing and attack quick this. Okay, Yao, let's go, Let's go. Hey, rebound there, rebound.
Now, Caminos there, you heard if you were paying close attention, drew out a very elaborate play. And Matt, in your experience, like, how does a coach balance the detailed instructions versus maybe the crucial reminders schematically a team has to execute? It's certainly a thing that coaches can only learn with a lot of experience.
Right, so just listening in on their play, they're going to be running their floppy 5, which is what they've been playing a lot tonight, where they try to get the ball to their big. But you could hear Coach Camino say he wants to reverse the ball and play off the other side. So as a coach, you have the play set, and then you can make slight adjustments on that play, and that's what he's doing there. Hopefully catch the Braves off guard.
2 missed free throws by Jet, and Zaisev get the Braves another possession. So on the quarter, both teams have turned it over quite a bit. One of the big differences, those are the first free throws by the Braves, despite the Pilots giving a lot of early fouls. Little slip pass as Chen Xiangjun. Oh, whistle came in early. I guess we have more free throws coming up. Yes, indeed. So that play by Camino Straw, he's got to wait on it for a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully the players remember the play and will execute.
But seems like forcing the Braves to get a little bit of the jitters from the line.
3 straight misses for the Braves at the line.
And they get 4, but Zaisev right in there almost got another possession.
So here we go, here's the call. Ayal's made the signal for the play, floppy 5.
Chen Ray does not have typically the shooting reputation, as Ayal takes it to the corner. He's got the mismatch on Zaisev.
Play kind of broke down.
Chen Ray forcing it up. Don't think he catches iron, and it will be a shot clock violation.
There's definitely some miscommunication on the play. Ayal couldn't get it to the wing, and play couldn't continue. And kind of just forced a tough shot by Wei Chen. Another 2 minutes left.
Jet cutting the basket, but that's not what they go with it. Dilboy on the back foot. Now he puts the ball on the deck as Pong Pong just levels him. That is not the defense that they wanted. Now, this is the 3rd shooter who'll step up to the free throw line. Let's see how effective this fouling strategy works.
I'm not sure if the gym just got really cold or something, but Braves' second half has been complete opposite from what they showed in the first half, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So let's see if the Braves can close this game off, or the Pilots can have one last gasp for air to make a comeback.
Your 7 points, make it 8. That's definitely what a lot of our commentators talk about as a guard. You need to be able to calm things down and hit free throws. And Zokoi trying to transition to a possible point guard. Only goes 1 for 2 after the shimmy shake.
And Zokoi has showed discipline in this game, because Pilots guard defenders are one of the top in the league. Ayal's been on their case all night, same with Wei Chen.
Well, under 2 minutes to go, it's a race against time for the Pilots as KJ bails them out with a foul there.
So big free throws coming ahead.
So maybe needing some mobility. Shizuno and Singletary will check in together. Well, we look on the Pilot side. They've accumulated 19 free throws attempts and get on 16 as Ayal trying to score for the first time in the game. He does. The Pilots have 11 offensive rebounds. Now the game, the Braves only have 5.
Yeah, Ayal struggled against the Braves in their past 2 games. Struggling now, but he's making up for it on his defensive end.
Singletary on the handoff. Now ball screen. Right, then left. Getting a defender on the floor, and the Braves hit it out of bounds. And you can almost say probably got a little lucky not committing the offensive foul there, playing as physical as he did. Pilots get a successful stop as got a lot of offense and defensive subs. But the Pilots are going to keep it with Washburn in. Look for him as Ayao goes back. The double comes smartly, and Pilots don't have any outlets. He finishes anyways. A big bucket to cut it to 3 points.
That shows his experience right there. Very patient. Gave it back out and then reset it. Got the ball again. And shoots it over to help defense, where he struggled in the first half. But this time just floats it right over Chen. Could have been called for a foul too. 3-point game.
Washburn all off to try the fadeaway, but with shorter defenders on him, smartly kept his balance and his weight just slightly toward the basket, which makes that shot easier. They need a few more stops.
They've really tightened up that pick and roll defense.
Pong shows but recovers as Singletary tries it again.
Same shot.
Gets it back though. They don't have to foul, but they do have Chen instead, or excuse me, Wu Junxiang, and a steal. Pong up ahead. The reverse lay. The English is in. A 1-point game. 32 seconds left, and watch out of the active hands. They do foul in the front court, and that's not exactly the guy to foul, but the task is a little bit easier down by 1.
Pong has really showed his value in this second half. He's been helping show on all the pick and rolls, and right there he anticipated the pass and really got that steal for that easy layup. Well, for that easy opportunity, but tough layup from Justin.
See, sometimes the degree of difficulty needs to be really high for number 69.
Yeah, exactly. I think he blew a couple layups in that first half. And that was a very tough layup. Over Taipei Moso.
Singletary, much more reliable at the line. In fact, he's in the top 5 of the league. Funny enough, hit a free throw he didn't mean to sink against a certain Steelers team, I recall. Goes 2 for 2. 29 seconds left. The advantage for the Braves is, even if the Pilots tie the game with a 3-pointer, they can't even run out the clock.
Right. Obviously, they still have their short timeout. And they're going to use it right now, so good to see what Coach Camino draws up for this, hopefully, possibly last possession, but there's still 4 seconds difference.
Logistically, they used up all their timeouts up until this point, so having to opt to the 30-second timeout will be a little bit of a disadvantage.
We have to go for that 2.
As clearly, Caminos realizes that they might want to play 2 possessions instead of just the 1. Obviously, leaving the Braves with a little bit of time left to even hit a game winner against them. And on the Brave sides, it sounds like they've done their homework and they're anticipating a play by the Pilots.
I see them switching everything. Probably going to be playing their bigger forwards out on the court. Let's see who they throw out there. It'll be interesting to see if the Pilots go for a quick 2 and try to hit a 3.
Singletary talking it over with Steve-O. And kind of the minute details of basketball. The Pilots probably don't practice full court traps that much, and so that foul against Singletary is looming large. Directing traffic, a little screen and post up.
Recognizes
Washburn getting the first 2. And now it's the Braves who called timeout as Pong and Washburn, probably something was missed in that execution, I'm guessing, but they get the 2 points. And just like Camino says, he's playing the long game right now. Get that early 2 and see what they can do here. It wouldn't even be crazy for them to go with a fouling strategy here, because you at least guarantee possession if you can get the rebound, or if the Braves hit both free throws, or at least the second one. So it's kind of an odd test for Coach Roger to scheme it up. We've also heard in timeouts before where his assistant coaches even suggested such things, but Roger, with his old experience, need to be a master of time and score, of course. And the personnel you bring in is also a huge thing to juggle too, from a coaching's perspective. Get another look at Pong going high post, Washburn going low post, delivering it in time before the 3-second call.
And that's a tough pass. Get over the top of both Zhejiang guarding him and then also the defender guarding Washburn, but gets it right into the sweet spot and gets the layup. Recognizes the mismatch. Gets the easy 2. Now it's up to Coach Roger drawing up a play to either get their players open or potentially plan for a play as well if the Pilots do decide not to foul. Depends if they take it out in the half court, which there will be 14 seconds on the shot clock, or if they decide to take it in the front, in the back court, and then the shot clock will be turned off.
That's always a detail that I kind of wonder about, because it could be advantageous or disadvantageous to do it either way. They're going to take it out of the front court, so as you pointed out, see on the clock, 14 seconds, so they can't even ice it.
See if they foul.
Singletary left open. Don't foul him yet. Now they do. Again, there definitely had to be a misassignment, because I'd imagine they would have thrown 2 bodies at Singletary, but so far away from the basket. Look, Singletary's going to go try to get a towel. Be as prepared as he can be for these free throws. Now, up by just 1 point. It's not a situation like the second game of the season where a miss would be in the favor of the Braves. He wants to get both of these and force the Pilots to take it out of bounds. The first free throw, no. And now if you're the Pilots, the playbook is really opening up.
Still got to box out. You never know what's going to happen in the second free throw.
It goes in, and a chance for the Braves to get Igor Zaysev in. And if you're the Braves, though, you did stockpile those timeouts. So I think in the most ironic twist, you're actually giving the advantage to the Pilots here, who didn't have any timeouts and had to execute with 13 seconds left. And under a new head coach, maybe they didn't already drop a bunch of these improvised, deep of the playbook plays that maybe a coach considerably like the Braves might have already had, especially with their veteran players who've worked with Roger for more than a decade.
And with this potential playoff matchup, these games are really important to look back to with these ATOs, these last-second plays. It's really interesting to see what they draw up, because these plays will definitely come back up
and you can attack the baseline. I'm giving you free space on the baseline. Yeah.
And so if we're looking at what the Pilots choose to do,
if they do this, you can
talk about their best three-point shooters on the season. Of course, the attention starts with Lu Junxiang Justin. He's only a 30% three-point shooter, but of course, like we mentioned, has the green light and has the audacity. Maybe even somebody like Ayers, 41%, but he's been sitting almost the whole game. There you see in his warm-ups. A guy like Jason Washburn's at 42% on only 19 attempts if they want to go for the dagger. But they could also set something up on the inside too.
Yeah. See them to run a play similar to what they did, where they screen the screener action, cause a mismatch, and get a high-low.
Washburn flashing, catching it outside the 3, and awkward runner with Ayao. Handoff. Washburn beating the clock, but it's going to be an air ball. Pilots don't get the foul off, and the Braves will come away just by the skin of their teeth. It's a victory in the books, but I believe, if I'm correct, they've set the league record for lowest scoring half in the process. 24 points is not a mark to be proud of, but it's a victory anyways. And once again, low scoring affair between the Pilots and Braves, and another defensive slugfest. Though, of course, the balance of the game, of course, might be the details of how the first half was so up and down, and the Pilots eking out that big lead of the third. And in fact, the fourth quarter was pretty much all Pilots too.
Yeah, I feel like Pilots made key adjustments in that halftime. Whatever Coach Camino said in the halftime speech, or whatever changes they made, they're definitely delivered to their players. I think Ray Chen and Pong Pong stepped up, as well as Aya on the defensive end. But Braves did very well still to hold on. Mike Singletary and his leadership down the stretch. Missed a free throw there, but led his team, and there he is, man of the match.
Asked about the Braves finish.
I don't know. I'm happy with how we played in the first half, not happy with how we played in the second half. We didn't come prepared, and they made it a good game. They're a good team. So we just got to learn. We just got to learn from this and continue to grow. Long season still for us, and you know, anytime you can get a win when you don't play your best, that's the best thing.
Now asked about their previous head-to-heads with the Pilots and how they play close games.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing that we have on this team. We have a lot of guys that have played a lot of meaningful games and have played a lot of close games like that. So, you know, in those moments, we don't panic, and we feel like in those moments we can pull out the win. So we're just happy to keep our win streak going and continue to get better, and we'll look forward to Tuesday.
Indeed, it is 6.
I'll be all right.
Game winning streak for the Braves.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Sounds like Singletary's all right too, from the contact to the lower legs we saw in the second half. That gave us all a little bit of a scare. And really, in as competitive as it is, especially in the top half of the league standings, any victory, like you say, will make a huge difference, because the second, third seed, it's a difference of home court advantage in only a 5-game series.
Good in the second half for you guys, but,
anything could really happen.
To get out of here with the win is
now the Braves move
a good thing. So
one game closer by winning that game over second place.
We'll keep trying to get better
Pilots.
for you guys. Thank you guys.
So they were comfortably in third, but now they're kind of knocking on the door of second place, and home court advantage, as you can tell, especially in this building, is big. So I feel like the Braves get a quick rest, and then here we go, get ready for Tuesday.
Chen 前面准备好，最后一颗，拿出你的热情，再次掌声送给我们今晚优秀球员辛特利。最后提醒大家，各位同事们，在2月21号后天要记得继续来打卡上班，以及2月24号礼拜5，欢迎带着你的尖叫机一起来，一起抒发压力，一起为勇士加油！在这边的同事晚安，谢谢大家，礼拜2见。
下次勇士主场见哦。
下次见，拜拜。再次提醒，有抽到我们金色山脉加码啤酒的，记得到勇士大声说来领取，来记得填下领取资料哦。如果 如果你有中，但是离场就视同放弃喽。好的，提醒大家，2月21号我们要来发放给各位的是我们的勇士应援小锣，记得喜欢锣的朋友要来购票进场才有机会获得哦。好，接下来要提醒的是，在今天有在我们勇士和平夜市拍卖会有得标能实立牌的，也要记得领取哦。在如果是要下一场再来领。
Another close game and another victory for the Taipei Fubon Braves against the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots, with the Pilots having another last-second shot to possibly tie it or even take the outright victory. As you see on screen, the Lioneers will come to this building to take on the now hot Braves, though we're talking about this game, and what are some kind of notes for each team? The Pilots made a nice adjustment, Taoyuan on defense, and they've eked out just enough offense to get back in the game, but the Braves, like Singletary said, get to learn from their mistakes in a win. What do they take away, and how do they not have this repeat kind of letdown in the second half?
I think the Braves was able to play some of their reserve players, like Xie Zongrong, Zhen Xiangjun, who was able to get some rest, and that kind of mix and match of rest and seeing how different players play together will be good down the stretch, especially for Tuesday as well, where the Lioneers, coming off a loss too and stacked with injuries, will also definitely have a tough time in this building. A rematch of the finals last year. However, this year is obviously a different look for the Lioneers in this current standpoint. It's a good experience for the Braves and getting their players in these important minutes and how they adapt. And even though they only scored 24, I still came up with a win.
Now Washburn, of course, emotional after that last missed shot, but really he deserves a lot of the credit for the Pilots guide. He scored a team-high 25 points. Well, on behalf of Matthew Yang, thanks for joining us on the broadcast. We'll see you all in the next one.
Thank you. See you guys.